Hello, my name is Cheryl Wilson and I am an abstract artist, and I wanted to share with you two small little paintings that I did on watercolor. I'm starting out with marks, and I'm using a Stabilo all pencil black and a Faber-Castell 9000 pencil and another Lyra pencil. And you'll see the difference between those that are water soluble and the ones that aren't. That one right there is water soluble, and it's able to be dissolved in water, which gives a beautiful blooming effect when you put water on it, which I absolutely love. I love how it just smudges and spreads out. So you'll see me spray spurts of water in just a second to show you the beautiful effect. It darkens it, and I just absolutely love what it looks like when you put water on some of your charcoal and your graphite. Now, what these can be are gifts for people, or they can be paintings. I'll show you how I framed them later. I use in this painting almost all, that is the ultramarine blue, but I use the fluid or the flow acrylics from Goldens. I love the fluidity of them and the freeness and how they blend together when they're wet. Now I'm adding some white, the Goldens titanium white, again the fluid acrylic, and I'm just blending in. I'm not cleaning my paintbrush. I'm letting the colors just blend together to come out with a real beautiful light blue here. Now I'm adding some of the phthalo and the green shade, which is almost like a turquoise, and I'm just rolling my brush around, letting the paint all mix together. And as you can see how I twist the brush and kind of move my arm around to kind of give the different look of the flow of the paint. I'm going back in with my graphite and just adding more of the color in there to scratch into it and just give it some more dynamic. And now I'm bringing in with a smaller brush some more of the titanium white, but you see now it's starting to blend with some of the other colors, so it almost turns up to different shades of gray, and that's what I want. I love circles in my paintings. You can do any type of shape that you find suits you and your personality and your artistic brush. But I love circles and swirls, and so you'll always see me add that whether I'm thinking about it or not. So as I continue through the painting, you'll see I have some black painter's tape down. I'll take that off later. I'm adding some iridescent gold fine. Can't go wrong with gold. I put gold in quite a few of my paintings. You'll see it also blending with some of the other paints to come up with different shades of greens, and there I'm just using the bottle and squirting the white on, and I do that a lot. I do that a lot with the black and the white from the Goldens. I just love the look that it gives. And as you see, I just take another brush that's a little bit thinner. It's kind of between the thicker and the thinnest one, and just pulling some of that paint around. I don't care if it gets on the painter's tape, because the painter's tape is going to be removed. So I'm just adding there, I just added some dots. Whatever gives me a little bit of texture, a little bit of a different feeling on the painting. I don't stick with just the same brush stroke. There's some green I've added in there, the green gold. That is a little bit thicker Goldens paint. I'll put the list below. And I'm just incorporating some of that green into the painting to give it some contrast, so it's not all the same blues. You could stop here, you can keep going. I'm doing a paper towel dabbing again to give more texture, to tone down some areas, and just to give it, the paper towel gives it a different type of a texture, which I love. When you dab that, you can dab deli paper into your painting just to give it a different texture. Now I'm taking some of the gold and I'm just tapping the brush to sprinkle. There I've grabbed some of the Quinacridone Magenta, and you can tell because it got mixed with the white, it came out pink. And again, I'm just adding something in there to give it just a different look, just to give it some funness, and so that it pops up some of the blues. You can tell by adding pinks and whites and greens that it just brings out the blues. A lot of times if you add a lighter color next to a darker color, it makes both of them pop. And so that's what's happening. I'm going in again with my charcoal, just scrubbing into the paints, giving it more texture. And I'm looking around just to see, okay, what do I need to do? What do I want? What do I want to add at this point? And now I'm adding water. The two bottles there, the rounded bottom one is always my alcohol, and the other is always water. And I spray both. There I just added a good spritz of water to just let the paint flow and kind of like fan out into like little fingers. Here it is when it is dried. Absolutely beautiful painting. There it is. I've taken the painter's tape off. I'm getting closer to the finished product. There's painting 2 or painting 1, whichever. That I call that painting 1 with the painter's tape off. I've cut them in half. Here's an example of what I do when I have some bleeds. If you want to sell your painting without any mattes or anything, it's Dr. Martin's Bleed Proof White. And I just get a small paintbrush, dip it in there. It's kind of a thick white, and you can do a couple coats. And I just go through any area that when I've taken the tape off where the paint has done like a bleed underneath. And I didn't need to do this because I'm going to put mattes on these, but if you wanted to sell these without mattes, if you're selling a bunch of them or giving them as gifts and you don't want to put mattes, you want to leave that up to the person that is getting it as a gift or buying your painting, then I would suggest to go through and do this last little cosmetic touch. There's a great big bleed, and you can see how the white, this Phil Martin's white just cleans up any mess you have. Here's an example of the paintings staged in frames. There they are in a kitchen. Absolutely beautiful for gifts. Wanted to share with you, I now offer abstract training on intentionalartist.mykajabi.com. I'll put that down below. I'd love to see you over there. Join me, and thanks so much for watching. I enjoy spending time with you. Take care.